Hey everyone, welcome back to Those Fake Nerds. I'm your host, Brian, and Splitgate 2 just came out. Has already had some controversy, of course, at Summer Games Fest. One of the lead developers wearing a Make FPS Great Again hat wasn't that popular with the more left leaning gamers who are, of course, very outspoken since it played off the Trump hat. And Trump, not the most popular politician in the world, especially at the moment. And then people were like, well, are you making first person shooters great again? Because you have an outrageous skin bundle for purchase. So that was another controversy that went away. But now we've seen kind of a little bit of fallout of this, and maybe the launch of Splitgate 2 isn't going to plan how they wanted it to. So from gamesindustry.biz and Sophie McAvoy. Splitgate 2 developer 1047 Games announces round of layoffs. Splitgate 2 developer 1047 Games has announced an undisclosed number of redundancies in a post shared on LinkedIn. The developer said it was, quote, redirecting resources to build the best game for our players. As a result, co-founder Ian Prulux and Nicholas Bagamain have opted to not take salaries as it works on the next phase of his project. We are sad to see our teammates go, and we are actively working to help them score new opportunities, it wrote. Thank you for those who built alongside us. We are very sad to say goodbye and would not be here without you. To everyone who's playing Splitgate 2, we're continuing to work hard to deliver more things we know that you'll love. We are committed to building this game for the long haul. As noted by IGN, members of staff affected by layoffs have also shared the news on social media. Former senior 3D environment artist Jean-Luca Navarro Mendioros, former and associate producer Juliana Osment, and former senior level designer Blaze Lightcap were among those affected. 1047 Games recently released Splitgate 2, a free-to-play co-op shooter and a successor to 2019 Splitgate. Developer previously raised $6.5 million in a funding round led by Galaxy Interactive, May 2021, then a further $10 million in July for development. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like things are going great. To be honest, and surprisingly so, some of the more like ardent supporters of the original Splitgate are not terribly impressed with the offerings of Splitgate 2. I think it's kind of in a difficult position, let alone, like, put aside rather the newer controversies they were in. Splitgate 1, was fairly popular at one time, and then they're just like, so we're done with this. We're making Splitgate 2 very suddenly, when before it seemed like this was going to be more of an ongoing project. So they kind of left plenty of players holding the bag, plenty of players who had purchased skins for Splitgate 1 that were now useless. And now Splitgate 2, they're asking those players to come back, and they may have alienated a lot of people. Not to mention, this is a game with a pretty high skill gap, I guess would be the best way to say it. I'll put it this way. So, I played this game way back in the day at PAX East before it was released. And, I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. Got a beta code from playing it at PAX East when the beta came out. Went to play it, and it seemed like the beta was populated by a lot of streamers. I am not a streamer. I stream occasionally, but I'm not a professional gamer in any way. Not someone who can be competing this. And just got in there, just got my ass kicked over and over again. And I was like, don't think I'm good enough at first person shooters anymore, if I was ever to be playing this game. So I wasn't terribly enthused by Splitgate 2, to tell you the truth, but I thought that it would have a chance to do well, given that the first one did decently well, but does not seem to be the case. We'll see if anything switches around. I think, certainly damning wearing the hat that alludes to, make game FPS great again, in terms of people who are just like, okay, well, now I'm never going to play this game. But you have to actually make a really good game to be talking shit like that. And I think the prevailing opinion surrounding Splitgate 2 is that it's just not that great. It doesn't do that much to stand apart besides its portal gimmicks. So unfortunate for 1047 games. Unfortunate for the people who got laid off, of course. But what are your thoughts? Have you been playing Splitgate 2? What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Brian. I'm a fake nerd. This has been some real news. Make sure you check out all of our channels, and we will see you in the next one.